Hi guys, I'm Joey Vigour. I'm the designer of Growl.
I'm Jeff Siadek. I'm just a fan of Growl.
Okay, so we're going to talk about some of our favorite strategies in the game, just to give you sort of a taste for what might come when you finally get your hands on a copy. So, first of all, Jeff, at the beginning of the game, you're either going to be a wolf or a human. So let's talk about some strategies, first of all, if you're a human, straight off the bat. One thing I've noticed is, if it's your turn, there's going to be a deck of cards, and say you draw a salve. Everybody's going to want that salve immediately. Whether they're a wolf or a human, they're going to say, oh, please give it to me, please give it to me. You have to think about this for a second, because who you give it to really does matter. Now, if you don't give it to the one person who says they need it, obviously everyone's going to suspect you're a wolf, because most people at the table start out for sure as humans. But maybe you give it to a neighbor. Maybe that salve will make its way back to you.
Yeah, I think a good rule of thumb is that things you don't want to see again, pass them as far away as possible, so it takes a long time, if ever, for them to get back to you.
Right, right. And another thing about if you're a human, it's actually okay to die in this game. Sometimes it's not that big of a deal for someone to think you're a wolf, as long as you are contributing to the overall success of the colony. Remember, you're trying to, not so much to survive, you're trying to have one human survive.
Yes, so if I die but my family survives, then I have not died in vain.
Right. If you have 2 wounds and you think you're probably going to get more, yeah, tonight you could pass a wound left and a wound right, but what if you're next to other humans? You've just stabbed a human left and a human right, right? So yeah, you could be greedy and try to survive, but ultimately, sometimes it's okay to say, look, I've got 2 wounds, why don't you pass that wound to me and take me out? Or maybe you're about to turn into a wolf and you'd rather die as a human than die as a wolf. I mean, that's up to you. That's fine. It's also a reasonable strategy to purposefully try to turn into a wolf as a human, but I feel like that's more of an advanced strategy, and it's also sort of athematic because you're trying to bork the whole colony of humans. But that is a perfectly reasonable thing. That's
if in the initial draw you have 2 bite cards already, and it looks like you're going to become a wolf, then it's time to dive in and say, okay, I'm going to be a wolf now.
No, I disagree. But that's up to you. I mean, it's your prerogative in this game. You get to sort of try to win as a human or try to win as a wolf. The goal is to win, ultimately. So I like to play thematically. I mean, sometimes when you turn into a vampire or a wolf or Mr. Hyde, you don't want to turn into Mr. Hyde, but once you get the infection, it feels kind of good, Woo! But it's up to you. Let's talk about some things once you turn into a wolf, or if you start as a wolf. Well, I mean, suppose you start as Wolf 0. What's your initial thought as Wolf 0?
I want to get everybody converted as quickly as possible.
Right.
But if I pass bites in both directions, then I have just put a great big target on my head, and both the people there are going to say, hey, I got one pass to, and if nobody else got passed to bites, then everybody's going to know I'm the wolf. They're going to isolate me and kill me.
So, yeah, what I do is I go right out. I do the opposite. I go right out swinging. I get bit from the left. I mean, I bite to the left. I bite to the right. And the first thing, as soon as everyone, like the night phase ends, okay, did anyone die? Okay, night phase is over. I just yell out, I got bit last night. And then my neighbors are like, oh, I also got bit. Oh, wait a minute. I think I got bit too. And I just come out swinging. It's definitely him. That's an option. You don't have to do that, but you definitely have to bite every night. Especially the first night, I feel like is so important because there's only one other wolf probably.
You have to bite at least one, probably 2.
Yeah, almost for sure, because there's just not enough time for the infection to spread around the table.
Nights.
And there's a slight chance that if you're playing a 6 or 7 player game, say, if both wolves are next to each other, that's a very difficult task they have. The good news is there's a lot of bites in play, so you're going to be able to convert people in the day phase. So one thing I do as a wolf is when it's my turn in the day phase, if a bite comes up, I never give it to an adjacent player. I always send it across the way.
And as a human, I always send them across too because I don't want to see them that way.
Well,
so
that's reasonable. But you're also trying to trust the people that you trust in the game. You don't want to if someone says, "Look, I'm a human, I'm going to die," and you know they're a human based on them always giving you what you need and you trusting them. Maybe don't try to kill them right off the bat. One thing I do is I try to pay attention. It's almost impossible to memorize and count every single card and remember where every card goes. But if I remember that, say, you've gotten at least 2 wounds during the day, or maybe 3 wounds during the day, so I know you're pretty close to death. If you haven't received any salves, you might have 1 or 2 if you started with them. As a wolf, I might instead of biting you, I might try to stab you. I might give you a wound at night and give the bite this way, trying to take you out. And maybe during the day phase,
and that saves your bites for more ammunition for later.
And in the day phase, if a bite comes up, I might not pass it to you. That's too easy to pass at night. I'll pass it to the guy next to you. So then, when I finally kill you with that third wound and you're eliminated, now I've already started the infection over here, and turn him as quickly as possible. I also try to give bites to the same person. By the end of the second night, I'm pretty much willing to come out as a wolf. I think that's a perfectly reasonable strategy. I might say, okay, it's another bite. Nah, I'll give it to Peter. And they're like, he just got one. He's about to turn. I'm like, Peter can handle it.
You guys can kill him.
Right? And they'll
that
say,
way they pass the wounds at Peter, who's going to become the wolf.
Right. And what you also do, if you do come out as a wolf, then other wolves without coming out can still start to work with you. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll pass this to Peter. And they're like, wait, no, don't give it to Peter. And they're like, well, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Right, because if you come out as a wolf, I next to you, I'm not going to pass bites at you trying to turn you. I'm going to be passing them the other way.
You'll save your bites, and you might even save your wounds. Now, it's dangerous at the end of the game. I will throw this out there. There is a sort of an advanced strategy that I've tried successfully once or twice where I come out as a wolf towards the end of the game, even though I'm a human, and yes, it's terrible because the other surviving humans are trying to stab me, and they might be wasting their wounds on me if I have a bunch of salves. But I am hopefully gonna prevent if the wolves are about to win, I'm hopefully gonna get them.
They'll think that they're winning with you, and then when you're quiet during the growl, they will say,
right.
"Oh, we got duped."
Right. They're not gonna be stabbing me to death. You know, worst case scenario, I might get 1 or 2 bites at the end. But if I can just live just long enough, that's sort of an advanced strategy. Any other ideas to mention?
Just one thing. The game is so quick that you get to play it again and again, so you can try all sorts of variations on the strategies.
Yeah, I like to sort of pay attention to who my enemies are and who my friends are in real life, and see how sort of metagame it and see how they play differently as wolves and humans, and who I can trust. One thing I like about this game over like classic original Werewolf or Mafia is that in those games everyone says, oh well, Joey's good at lying, so let's just kill him right off. And I'm removed from the game, and it's like, well, that's 3 hours. I just have to sit and wait. In this game, people might suspect I'm a wolf straight off the bat, but I can regain their trust by if they say, oh, I need a salve, I'll give them a salve, right? Oh, maybe he's not a wolf. Yeah, I'm a wolf. I'm always a wolf. But anyway, those are some of the strategies in the card game Growl. Let me know what you think. You can email me at templeofgiants@gmail.com. You can email Jeff at gorillaboardgames@gmail.com.
Sure.
Thanks a lot for checking out this video, and go have fun infecting the colony.
Grrr.
Grrr.